The implementation of Article 232 of the USA trade legislations has had a significant impact on the behavior of metal traders and producers. The Ministry of Economic Development of Ukraine takes measures to stabilize access of Ukrainian metallurgical products to USA markets. Iranian steel exporters increased exports by 54%. You are watching Metal News. Review for the week. The press service of the Ministry of Economic Development of Ukraine informs that the government and the ministry will do everything possible to ensure that the level of access of Ukrainian metallurgical products to the USA market does not change. On Thursday, March 8, USA President Donald Trump officially announced the introduction of import duties on steel and aluminium, 25% and 10% for most countries. The Ministry of Economic Development of Ukraine hopes that reliable cooperation in the trade, defense and investment spheres is a weighty argument for the USA to exclude Ukrainian products from the effect of protective duties. The initiation of additional USA duties on imported steel under Article 232 of USA trade legislation will have a very negative impact on the activities of European Union's metallurgists. European metallurgy will suffer greatly from new USA tariffs, as this country remains one of the main destinations for European products. Representatives of the European steel industry see the need to redirect trade flows that previously entered the United States to domestic sales markets. The growing demand in the segment of wire rod sales and against the background of its deficit in the European Union makes them to think about new production facilities. The Dutch company Van Merkstein International plans to build a metallurgical plant for wire rod production in Eemshaven. The amount of planned investments is €260 million. The construction is expected to start in the first quarter of 19 year, and the start of the work of the enterprise is expected for the second half of the year 2020. After the completion of the construction of the first stage, the production capacity of the plant will be 900,000 tons. It will allow the manufacturer to partially close its own production needs for the manufacture of galvanized wire rod and wire fences. The favorable situation on the world market continues to support prices for sheet iron in Russia. The favorable situation on the world market continues to support prices for sheet iron in Russia. By the middle of the reporting week, factory price growth stopped due to low activity of Russian consumers. A number of companies postponed the increase for the second half of the month. Currently, hot-rolled sheet 4 to 10 mm, depending on the manufacturer, is offered at $742 to $766 per ton, including 18% VAT, delivery conditions CPT Moscow. The lower limit of the range corresponds to the prices of the Choropovetsky metallurgical combine, but the manufacturer announced that in April the rolled products will be sold at $35 per ton more. In March, Rostov Pipe Rolling Plant plans to produce and sell 1.5 thousand tons of shaped pipes, which is more than 2 times higher than the figures of the previous month. Placement of orders for hot-rolled coils is carried out monthly. To adapt the production cost to the current prices for pipes, plants are going to reschedule shipment for 2 months. According to the results of February, the production of profile pipes at the plant amounted to about 7,000 tons. Activity in the market of billets from the CIS declined in the Black Sea region. In the near future, it may recover. Positive sentiment in the market of the square billets, the growth of quotations of scrap and export prices for Turkish fittings. Exporters, after major sales in the last weeks of February, have so far refrained from active offers. They have some influence on business and past holidays in the CIS countries. Despite the low activity of the majority of exporters of the square billets from the CIS, the working level of quotations this week has increased by $5 to $10 per ton and reaches $540 per ton. Delivery terms FOB Black Sea. Turkey plans a break in the purchase of imported scrap. After the appearance on the Turkish market of imported steel scrap, the level of business activity is expected to decline due to the partners' reassessment of prospects under Articles 232. According to this article, the additional duty on steel imports will be 25%, which calls into question the presence of Turkey in this direction and the overall balance of the market. Buyers of armature in Turkey suggest that given the excess supply, the rise in prices for long product will be limited. The lot of 3A scrap from Rostov-on-Don was sold at $360 per ton, delivery terms CFR. Last week, the working level of quotations was $355 to $360 per ton, delivery terms CFR. Indicative prices for scrap of HMS brand from the eastern coast of the United States are $379 to $380 per ton, delivery terms CFR Turkey. Most major valve manufacturers in Egypt have increased prices. The main reason was the increase in business activity in the country, in addition to the high prices for procurement and scrap in the world market. The period of price stability that has been observed since November has ended. The price growth has been observed in the domestic market of fixtures in Egypt. The level of internal offers was raised by the largest Egyptian rolling mills at an average of $28.5 per ton. Rebars for local buyers are available at $630 to $637 per ton. The price of small plants is in the range of $613 to $635 per ton. The results of 11 months of the current year in the Persian calendar show that Iranian steel exporters increased sales by 54% due to the sale of semi-finished products. The increase in exports is more than 7 million tons. The main suppliers are Kurdistan Steel Company, KSC, and Isfahan Steel Company. Their shares in total export amounts to 46% and 19%. In the slab export segment, there is also a recovery due to a favorable market situation. Mubarak Steel Company and its subsidiary Hormozgan Steel Company increased sales of materials by 12%. KSC sold 17% more slabs for the period under review. Experts of the company note the priority of selling slabs in front of the square billets. You are watching Metal News. Review for the week. Indicative prices for the current positions by the end of the reporting week look like this. Internal production of the CIS. Export from the CIS.